Hello, dear viewers. So today again, uh, I'm with new topics, and you are going to learn about telephone, camera, and laser. So these are the topics from the syllabi of CSS and PMS. So let me wait for a while. Then we will start. Meanwhile, those who are live, they can invite their friends to this live session, and also let me know that we have no gap of communication. I mean that everything is all right. My voice is audible and the screen is visible. I hope so. So let's start. And that is telephone. So telephone is etymologically, if we break down it, tele, so tele is for, for, while phone, as you know, it can be voice or sound from Greek language, right? Now, if we define it, so it is a telecommunication instruments or device. It is a telecommunication instrument that produce clearly, clearly intelligible, intelligible, intelligible mean understandable, which can be understand easily. Replication, replication mean copy, replication of the human voice, human voice. It a second device via cables, via cables. So this is the most comprehensive definition I have written for you, and you must know it. You can also write your own definition for telephone. Okay, so I hope you get the basic understanding of telephone. Now coming to components, what are the components of telephone? So it is intelligible, understandable to you already. So it can be microphone, right? And microphone act as transmitter. Yes, transmitter that we speak into. It has earphone, earphone, which act as receiver, receiver, and that reproduce the voice in a distant location, or it can be act as, in other words, energy converting device, energy converting device, earphone. It has a ringer, okay. And ringer, it is for incoming call. Sorry. It has another component, and that is dial pad, or it can be key pad to enter a number, right? These are the main components of telephone. Now, how it works, how telephone works. So let us talk about that a little bit. So as we know already that the telephone has loudspeaker besides microphone. Let me write it. Function of telephone, right? Now, so loudspeaker and microphone, they work similar but in opposite way, okay? And it is understood. Microphone, as we already discussed, it is the one of the component of telephone. So microphone is a flexible. Microphone, it is a flexible piece of plastic. A flexible piece of plastic which is called what? Diaphragm, with an iron coil attached to it. ओके, इसके साथ क्या होता है? एक आयरन कॉइल होता है. माइक्रोफोन की हम बात कर रहे हैं, ठीक हो गया. आयरन कॉइल अटैच टू इट. Besides it has a magnet nearby. ये तीनों चीजें एक साथ होती है. हो गया. When you speak into the mouthpiece or into microphone, so the sound energy in your voice makes the diaphragm vibrates. जब आप बोलते हो माइक्रोफोन में, तो साउंड एनर्जी होने की वजह से डायफ्राम क्या होते हैं? वो वाइब्रेट्स होते हैं. और इसके साथ जिस तरह हमने बात की, जब ये वाइब्रेट्स होते हैं डायफ्राम, तो ये क्या करते हैं? ये जो कॉइल होती है ना, इसको मूव करते हैं. ये मूवमेंट स्टार्ट करते हैं बिकॉज ऑफ द sound energy received by diaphragm, right? और इसकी मूवमेंट जो है ना, टू एंड फ्रो होते हैं इस तरह, या मतलब आगे जाते हैं पीछे जाते हैं, नियर या फार फ्रॉम द मैग्नेट पोजिशन से. ये क्या होते हैं? या मतलब इस तरफ होते हैं, या राइट लेफ्ट, टू एंड फ्रो मोशन करते हैं. Resultantly an electric current is generated, और इसके रिजल्ट में इलेक्ट्रिक करंट जनरेट होते हैं. द कॉइल द correspond to the sound of your voice. So it's mean that इससे हम ये अफिस कर सकते हैं कि ये जो correspond voice generate करते हैं, तो क्या हो जाते हैं? We can say that speaking of the person is directly proportional to electric current. ठीक हो गया. इसका मतलब यह है कि आप जितना आवाज बढ़ाओगे, करंट इतना बड़ा पैदा होती जाएगा. ये इसका मतलब है. Let me check that we are going good. I don't see any comment from your side. It means that you are not interested. No problem. I'll continue my side, and the rest depends on you. Now another topic, that is camera. So camera in optical, it is an optical device for capturing an image of an object on a light sensitive surface. It is in optical. Optical mean light, related to light. Device for capturing an image of an object on a large sensitive surface, having a light tight box within aperture to admit light focus onto a sensitive film or plate. And one of its original poem was known, that is camera obscura. This is the original poem, and that's mean dark chamber. Dark chamber, right? If we talk about its components, so let me write it. Components, it has the camera box, as you already know, a box. So what is the function of this component? That is to protect inside. And it has, being a sensitive part or sensitive film, it has inside. Another one, that is film, and as we already discussed about it, film, a light sensitive strip, usually spooled either manually or automatically, right? So it is a light sensitive strip, एक पट्टी होती है जो आप जानते हो. And another one, that is the light control, and it consists of an aperture, are also called aperture or diaphragm, plus shutter, which is adjustable. Okay, so aperture or diaphragm, they are like iris of the human eye, and it is an opening through which light enters the camera. अपर्चर या जो डायग्राम होती है, डायफ्राम सॉरी, ये एक ओपनिंग है जिससे लाइट एंटर होती है कैमरे में, ठीक है. एंड सिमिलरली शटर इज it is besides aperture control the amount of light entering the camera. ये भी कंट्रोल करते हैं, ये भी कंट्रोल करते हैं, और इसके साथ ये लोकेट होते हैं. Another component, that is the viewing system. Viewing system, right? So this is the last component of camera, and it is either separate from lens system or operate through it by means of a mirror. ठीक है, या तो ये मतलब लेंस सिस्टम से सेपरेट होते हैं या इसके जरिए से मिरर के जरिए से ऑपरेट होती है. So that is called the light viewing system. Now coming to another topic, and that is laser, as you already know. So laser as an acronym for light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. All right. So light is an acronym amplification by stimulated emission of radiation, laser. That makes laser. Now let us define it briefly. So it is a device. Let me write it. A device. You can also say an optical device. There are many ways you can define a particular thing. So a device which produces an intense beam up monochromatic and coherent light. Okay, so that is the short definition of laser. ये एक ऐसी डिवाइस है जो एक intense you know that beam of monochromatic mono mean one and come from Greek language color. One color, coherent, it has one, coherent mean one wave form in plus in phase. इसका मतलब ये है कि ये इसकी जो कोहेरेंट लाइट प्रोड्यूस होती है, इसकी जो वेवलेंथ है, एक तो यहाँ एक प्रॉपर्टी ये बन गई मोनोक्रोमैटिक है इंटेंस, ठीक है, एक कोहेरेंट लाइट है. तो ये जो मतलब जो लाइट प्रोड्यूस करते हैं जितने भी मतलब इसके जो वेवलेंथ है वो कोहेरेंट है, इसकी जैसा भी वेवलेंथ इसकी सिमिलर होती है. ठीक हो गया, इस तरह ही एक ही पीस में जा रही है. बाकी जो एज कंपेयर टू विजिबल लाइट वी सी दैट इज it has around 7 colors जो हम देखते हैं. 7 color mean it has a different wavelengths. कई की ज़्यादा होती है, कई की कम होती है, कई की मतलब शॉर्ट होती है, कई लॉन्ग वेवलेंथ होती है. इसी तरह इसकी फ्रिक्वेंसी भी एक होती है. तो इस तरह इसको हम कोहेरेंट लाइट भी कहते हैं. आई होप यू अंडरस्टैंड द basic idea about light. So that is the definition. So that is more technical. A device which produces an intense beam of monochromatic of one color and coherent light, one waveform and in phase. And that's in other words, you can say that it has similar wavelength and frequency. Now, laser, there are controversy about many devices or many instruments like others, telephones and computer that we will be discussing later on. Similarly, is the case with laser, and that is some people reference it is discovered invented by some person, and some say it is discovered invented by some other person, but some suggest that it was invented by laser bomb. And one of the the former form of laser, it was also called maser, right? And later on it was developed by uh, Gordon Gordon Gold in 1957. That currently we are aware of it, and it is was based on Einstein Einstein's theory of light that he had given in 1916. Briefly, we can say it is based on E is equal to mc squared. Okay, so that is the general concept of it. Now coming to its principle of function. So what we can say, that is it is based on its function or its principle, working principle are based on four processes. One is spontaneous absorption, right? Number second, that is spontaneous emission. Number third, stimulated emission. And number fourth, that is population inversion. We are not going into detail of these topics because these each one of them has its own universe, and that is more physics oriented knowledge, as we don't need to go in detail of these topics, right? So these are the working principle on which laser basically work. Now coming to let me check that everything is all right. I hope so. So far, I don't see any comment from your side. Don't be just a spectators, right? Be active participants. So what are the characteristics of laser? Characteristics of laser. One is monochromaticity. Monochromaticity. It has one color, as we already talked about it. It produces one color or single color, unlike visible. Unlike visible. As visible comprised of 7 different colors besides different wavelengths and frequencies. Next, there is coherence. So coherence in one phase, in space, in time, or one waveform, or in other words, you can say it is It has similar frequency and wavelength. Number third property of laser, that is directionality. Directionality. Directionality means that it can travel several hundred kilometers in space without distraction. Traveling for long distance without distraction. That is called directionality of laser. And one of the property of it. Number four, that is sharp focus. Sharp focus. So it spread very, you can say, little. ज़्यादा नहीं फैलते, लेकिन एक ही पॉइंट पे क्या होते हैं, फोकस करते, एक ही पॉइंट पे, सिंगल पॉइंट पे ये फोकस करते, इसको हम शॉर्प फोकस कहते हैं. Okay. Okay, yes, sir, Humar Khan, but write something. Now, coming to its application. What are the application of laser? So that is already understood. However, let me write it few applications. So application can be illumination, investigation, preparation, transformation, treatment in medical site, detection of you can say criminal activities, weapons, formation or manufacturing, for cutting some stones like or some precious stone like diamonds, research purpose. So it has many applications. Okay, you can understand the situation. So what are the components of laser? Components. So components, its main component, it has gain medium, and it is the component of laser. It provides the source of optical gain. Optical means light within a laser for stimulated emission. ये लाइट की सोर्स है जो लाइट को, लेजर को स्टिमुलेट करते हैं और ज्यादा एक्साइट करते हैं. अब ये अलग बात है, या हमने प्रिंसिपल में बात की इसी में, लेकिन आगे हम नहीं जा सके. उसकी वजह ये कि ये हर एक जो टर्मिनोलॉजी है उसकी अलग अलग दुनिया है. अगर हम इसी हिसाब से जाएंगे तो फिर मतलब उसकी कोई ज़रूरत ही नहीं अगर हम आगे जाए. ठीक है, अब हम जो है ना जनरली बात कर रही है, और ये चीज़ें जो है ना ज़्यादा फिजिक्स ओरिएंटेड चीज़ें हैं, तो डिटेल में जाने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. ठीक है, सो gain medium is the source of optical gain within a laser for stimulated emission. ये emission को stimulate करते हैं जब लाइट आते हैं. ठीक हो गया. Second, that is laser pumping energy. नाम से जाहिर है. So it acts of energy transfer from an external into gain medium of a laser. ये एनर्जी ट्रांसफर की तरह ही काम करते एक डिवाइस आउटसाइड से टू गेन मीडियम की तरफ। हो गया। नंबर थर्ड, हाई रिफ्लेक्टर, हाई रिफ्लेक्टर जो लाइट को रिफ्लेक्ट करते हैं, और असल में लेजर और जो ऑप्टिकल इंस्ट्रूमेंट है अदर, ठीक है, तो ये भी एक मेन कंपोनेंट का काम करते हैं। Similarly, we have output coupler, and the last one that is beam, sorry, laser beam। ठीक हो गया। ये आउटपुट जो है ना क्या करते हैं, कोहेरेंस में लाते हैं, ठीक है, फिर आउटपुट उसको देते हैं जो लाइट प्रोड्यूस करते हैं। लाइट नहीं बल्कि लेजर की हम बात कर रहे हैं, और ये लेजर बीम का हिस्सा हो गया। So these were the components of laser we have discussed so far। ठीक हो गया। तो ये टॉपिक्स थे, हमने डिस्कस कर ले। टेलीफोन था, इस तरह जो कैमरा और लेज़र, ये तीन टॉपिक आज हमने डिस्कस कर ले। इसकी जो मेन चीज़ें थी, इसके डिफिनीशन, ब्रीफ डिफिनीशन बट कंप्रहेंसिव, इसके कंपोनेंट्स, इसके वर्किंग प्रिंसिपल, तो ये चीज़ें अहम थी, हमने डिस्कस कर ली। एंड आई होप you understand something, if not all, and the rest you will be reading about these topics to prepare it. You can also prepare your own notes, okay, from it. And besides, when you read reading material, as I have already posted as announcement in this group, so you have sources, and you can also search the topics in Google, so you will get a lot of materials regarding these topics or something else. So okay, Huma Khan, thank you for your participation. And now if you have any question about this topic or something else, you can ask quickly, otherwise I should leave. All right, so I'm leaving, but if you have questions, so you can write in the comment box. Later on, I'll be answering to them. Have a nice day.